Hey, what's going on, guys? We're live again with another video. I know I said I'd only be going live on Thursday when the Victor Gyökeres to Arsenal deal is pretty much wrapped up, and you'll see in the media a fee being agreed upon between the two clubs. I am going live today because I have a lot of debunking to do in terms of this Noni Madueke to Arsenal deal, as well as there's now new information being provided on I think it's from Team News and Ticks, but I'm just gonna say it's widely reported in the media today that Josh Nichols of the Academy is being offered in a swap deal for Ebriche Eze to Crystal Palace. Personally, I think we should be offering both Josh Nichols and Kivior. I think Kivior is a good asset to sell for us, and it would lower the release clause price for Ebriche Eze. First things first, thanks to everyone who tuned in yesterday. We were live yesterday to discuss the situation of Victor Gyökeres to Arsenal. There were rumors yesterday stating that the Sporting Lisbon president demanded more fees from us, and I think it was 10 million more that they were asking for, 70 million plus 10 million in terms of euros. And I think overall a deal will be agreed for 65 million from what we heard yesterday being reported. I think Friday he will join the team in preseason as we're off to Singapore and Hong Kong for Arsenal's preseason. All of our players who did not have an extended holiday have returned back to Soba reality, but no training has begun yet. I'm not sure what's going on in terms of why we haven't begun training yet. Not even warm weather training. But all of our players who didn't have an extended holiday have returned back to Arsenal. You did see pictures of Timber and I think it was Madueke and his mom at the Wimbledon. We are also going to talk about Anthony Gordon because Team News and Ticks came out today on his Patreon discussing the fact that Anthony Gordon's agent was at London Colony last week. Does that mean anything for the Arsenal? Does that mean we could possibly be looking at Anthony Gordon, who is a valuable prospect, and I think he is a quality player, but I also do think realistically if Liverpool were selling Luis Diaz, I do think that Liverpool will jump on the opportunity to sign someone like Anthony Gordon, and I also think Anthony Gordon as a player would be open to the move to join Arne Slot before thinking of a move to Arsenal. And I'm not, degrading us or saying we're not as good as Liverpool, but I do think that a player like Anthony Gordon would prefer Liverpool that recently won a trophy rather than us. And I do think would be first to get his signature. Hi, Daniel. Hope you're well. I didn't work today. I had some stuff to do from home this morning. I took an extended nap, and then I've been getting grilled all day from my friends that support Chelsea about this Noni Madueke situation. And, this is a transfer window. Keep in mind, I am no ITK whatsoever, nor did I ever claim to be an ITK. But I do have to say, in a transfer window, things can change in a matter of hours, in a matter of minutes, or overnight. The situation of Noni Madueke, the inference that I've heard is not everyone in management agrees to the signing of Noni Madueke. That's the first, red flag. Second red flag is now that the Elanga has gone to Newcastle for a higher price tag, Chelsea are reluctant on selling Noni Madueke for 35 million plus 5 million, and this is British pounds I'm talking, in add-ons. So I do think that Arsenal should move on from this deal, not be held smug by Chelsea. We've already taken so many of their scraps over the years, not just last season. Over the years, we've taken so many of their scrubs. I think we should move on, try to wrap up Ebriche Eze, and offer Josh Nichols, who is in the last year of his academy contract, as well as Kivior. Crystal Palace, we've had good relationships with. We've given them Rob Holding, we've given them Matt Turner, and we've given them Eddie Nketiah. Whether Eddie Nketiah had a good career or not at Crystal Palace, that is not in my equation to provide facts for. But I do want to say I do think we need to jump quickly in terms of this release clause. And typically Arsenal do not do player swaps. In our history, we've not been the club that does player plus cash swap deals. But when you have a market opportunity like that for someone like Ebriche Eze, who knows Arsenal, who's been at Arsenal, clearly shows interest in wanting to join us. Personal terms were not an issue. You want this opportunity right at the table. As soon as you can get it, you will leap for that opportunity. And I do think when you have players that you can offer for a swap deal, you are going to take that offer and you are going to put it on the table as best as you can. So first things first, Josh Nichols being the mystery player in terms of defender we can offer to Crystal Palace, and I would even give Kivior on the table as well. People are asking me what's happening to Mascara and what's happening with Rodrigo. First things first, Rodrigo's release clause. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I think it looks like a fee of 80 million euros or more needs to be presented to Real Madrid for them to even consider talking with Arsenal with the situation of Rodrigo from Real Madrid. I think first we need to involve our own players, player plus cash swap deals to sign Ibrice as I think he should be the next priority. Today, as you guys know, yesterday I mentioned in the next coming days, which was today and onwards, we would hear the announcement for Christian Norgard. I feel bad for Norgard. No one was really excited for his signing at 31 years old. I don't think everyone was really hyped or gassed up for the signing of Christian Norgard. But for him to have a 1 or 2 year contract, I think 2 years at the max is good enough for his age. You know, being a squad player off the bench, that's what he's coming to do. So first things first, welcome to the Arsenal, Christian Norgard. That signing is now wrapped up. As I did say yesterday, it would be done in the next coming days. It is a 10 million base fee plus 5 million in add-ons, and I do think he's not on high wages. Arsenal are no longer that club that does high wages to sign players. We finally have the pull to sign players like Victor Gyökeres without offering insanely high wages like we did in the past times. Ollie Watkins to Newcastle and Isaac to Liverpool. I'll go one step higher for this. I do think Ollie Watkins could be a pole position to join Manchester United. You guys did hear the news today that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is officially a free agent on the market. And we also do know that not just Ollie Watkins is available on the market, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin. A lot of Arsenal fans, maybe 3 or 4 seasons ago, really worked hard for wanting DCL to Arsenal, and people think it's like FIFA where these players will have high pace and productivity in reality, but that's not the case, and I'm glad we didn't sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin. You know, some of these players have all pace but no end product, so I just don't see that happening. Shout out to Victor Gyökeres in the chat. Someone made a fan account of him. It'll be nice to see his mask celebration, but I do see that this deal will be wrapped up by Thursday. I think at the latest by Thursday or Friday we will hear a here we go for for Victor Gyökeres. Christian Norgard already announced, which means Ibrice, Eze, and Mosquera, the Valencia center back, is next on the table. In terms of Noni Madueke, this is a breakdown, and this is the reason why I wanted to go live. Yesterday, I did say that initially a fee was agreed of 35 million plus 5 million, which makes it under 40 million British pounds for Noni Madueke. But it was reported today in the media that some people in the board are reluctant to sign Noni Madueke. I'm not sure what the reason may be, but I also think we shouldn't be bullied in the market by Chelsea. Just because Elanga went for more money to Newcastle, I don't think that should be the same principles that Arsenal should be bullied into signing Noni Madueke. I also did mention yesterday, I don't see where he's going to get game time if Arsenal are preparing every game in preseason. To go into preseason expecting Saka to start every game or to play every game, more or less. You know, these are players that are high caliber Premier League players. They are going into this new season and preseason, expecting to play every game. So I don't want to pay so much for Noni Madueke, and I also think we should move on. We should not be the team that's helping Chelsea out, getting out of their financial struggles. And I know JPT is in the chat watching. Respects to you. I have a lot of friends that support Chelsea, and even some of them were reluctant to sell Noni Madueke to Arsenal. They know the potential he has. He is a young player. He can be a good backup to Bukayo Saka, but the price tag that Chelsea are now quoting for him, they want an excess of 50 million, which was reported by CFC Pies. And I don't think Arsenal should fall prey to that. I think we need to move on, and Berta has that ability to move on. You know, in the past, we were a team that easily got bullied in the transfer market. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Jordan. Big up to you. Hi Jamal. He says, "Big up Melina. I hope Ethan Waneri stays at the club." So this is the last thing I want to talk about. The Ethan Waneri situation came out today from Sam CR reports that Ethan Waneri was close to finalizing contract negotiations with Arsenal, and things were moving in a positive direction. It is now almost 4 p.m. in the UK, or 5 p.m. in the UK. And right now, Ethan Waneri is very close to putting pen to paper, according to Sam CR reports, who has been quite reliable. He was the first to break Ivan Toney going to Saudi, leaving Brentford for Saudi Arabia for a big move. He also mentioned John Duran leaving Saudi Arabia to go to Fenerbahce. And he mentioned that Arsenal were finalizing a deal for Victor Gyökeres. No Argentina jersey, Moss, just some work clothes. I don't have no Argentina jersey. As much as Messi is an awesome player, I don't really like that Argentina team. I do love Lautaro Martinez, and I would love to have his jersey, but I didn't purchase any Argentinian jersey. I do have a Real Madrid 2 jerseys from Cristiano Ronaldo and Vinicius Jr. when Ronaldo used to play for Real Madrid. Really nice and hot here, Moss. I was just heading out, but I wanted to do a stream to update you guys on the situation of Eberechi Eze to Arsenal. It looks like we're still in talks with Crystal Palace, which is progressing well. But I think when you have an opportunity to offer to players, defenders to Crystal Palace, you're going to present that opportunity as best as you can. Um, Hi, Vizzy. He says Madison Saga retired ITKs. Oh man, that Madison saga was crazy. I really thought we were gonna sign him. I was convinced. Even the Mudryk thing. Um, that I held my hands up for it. I saw Mudryk comps and I thought this guy was gonna be the next thing, best thing since sliced bread. And obviously, we all know how that ended up. Now, hindsight is a beautiful thing, and we dodged a bullet with Mudryk. We got the market opportunity when Trossard fell out with his former manager at Brighton. And as I reported yesterday, Trossard was in talks with Fenerbahce under Jose Mourinho. It's looking like they want to buy him for 18 million euros. I did say, with Trossard's age, I don't see any other clubs coming in for him and offering more than the 18 million euros that were promised for us. And at that point, you are going to take the money instead of losing the player on a free, or terminating their contract by mutual consent, like the situation of Takehiro Tomiyasu, or in other case Thomas Partey as a player. And we used to be the club that frequently did that, terminating contracts or losing players on a free. And we no longer want to be that club. And I also want to highlight the fact that some of these players that need to be outgoings are on an extended holiday, like the likes of Fabio Vieira. And I do think any negotiations for Fabio Vieira leaving Arsenal will be done only after the player returns from his extended holiday. So that's the reason why you're not hearing Fabio Vieira's name in the media at this current moment. We did get a here we go for Christian Norgard, which only means to me that the next player we're moving on to is already in the Premier League, and that's no other than Hale Ends Eberechi Eze. We should get that signing wrapped up before other Premier League clubs get involved in, and because it's a release clause, they can easily activate the release clause and try to get personal terms agreed. I don't think there's any gentleman's agreement or such whatever with Eberechi Eze. We would have heard that by now, but I think that would be a quality signing to elevate Arsenal's attack. And we know our attack was one of the leading Achilles' heels in terms of the Champions League, on both fronts of the Champions League. Yeah, we made it out the group stage. Yeah, we stunned Real Madrid on 2 legs, but when it came to that PSG team, and no disrespect to that PSG team, people expected us to roll over that PSG team. Bayern Munich couldn't even be a 9-man PSG in the Club World Cup, and some people expected us to roll over that PSG team. And I really hope this season, for attackers coming in, we would elevate our attack. But more importantly, getting that coverage on the bench and having not a significant drop off with the bench is crucial to our season. Equating injuries, and last season we were so unlucky with injuries. And I'm not using injuries as an excuse, but I think the backup options we had, we were playing our first team in some games in the Carabao Cup, even, or even when we were 3-0 up in we would still have to play Bukayo Saka because we didn't have anyone else that could come on. Ethan Waneri choosing to commit his future to Arsenal. That's a big thing this window. We don't want to lose him. We all know, how much value we put into Hill and aspects and prospects. So I hope, it's looking progressive, and I don't think it'll be anything of Ethan Waneri going to Chelsea or being tempted to go to Chelsea. I know Chelsea already tried to tap up the player and his family, but I don't think it will be an issue, and I don't think it's anything to worry about, is what I'm going to say on my stance on the Ethan Waneri contract renewal. There was also reports today about Saliba's contract extension, that it's already been presented to him, but he's still weighing up options. There was also rumors that Liverpool have contacted Saliba, and that's part of the reason why maybe Virgil van Dijk had a 2-year renewal. Hi, Tyrone. Is Gabriel Jesus back from injury? Yes, he is, and his wife had a second child. I know that he was spending his preseason, or sorry, off season with his family. I don't think he traveled anywhere abroad, but Arsenal have not begun training yet, even though they returned from holiday yesterday. The players that did not have an extended holiday, and Christian Mosquera. We need more moss at the carpet. Mosquera is a quality center back for Valencia. Those of you that seen him play, and I just do also want to say Joel Hatto from Ajax is a player we looked at in the January transfer window. From my understanding, if Kivior was to leave, I do think that Joel Hatto would be a great replacement for Kivior. Kivior really stepped up when Gabriel Magalhaes got injured against Real Madrid. He had one of the best performances in an Arsenal kit, and I was one of his harsh critics. And I did give him credit when and where it was due. Last season, over both legs, home and away to Real Madrid, Kivior put on the best performance of his life in an Arsenal kit, and he was really much written. Sorry, my stream just cut out for a bit. I had some technical issues. Someone was calling me. Whenever I'm live, it's when people decide to call me when I'm not doing anything. My phone doesn't ring. Sometimes that's how it works. That performance should net him another 10 million against Real Madrid. Kivior had the game of his life, and you have to give him credit because those were big boots to fill when Gabriel Magalhaes got injured. The partnership of him and Saliba have been quality for us last season. Um, and I hope we get good money for selling Kivior. But these are all the updates I have for you guys at this moment today. Um, Around 6 p.m. GMT, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're still waiting to hear concrete news on Ebriche Eze and concrete news on Rodrigo. But I did want to provide an update on Madueke's situation. The situation of Noni Madueke is one to watch and wait for. I think Arsenal should personally move on to other targets. If it means we're getting Gyökeres and Ebriche as well as looking at someone like um, Rodrigo, then Noni Madueke, good luck to you in your future. But I don't think if not everyone agrees or aligns with the interest of signing Noni Madueke, I think we need to move on, and I think we need to move on quick. Which is why I like Andre Berta, because he doesn't stall for any club. RB Leipzig were taking us for fools, and Berta decided to move on immediately and not be snubbed by RB Leipzig's games. They wanted a lot of money, extortionate money for Benjamin Sesko, and I'm glad Arsenal didn't get bullied in the market or not come out of there with any striker, which would have been the situation in the past. Moss says we dodged a couple of huge bullets by not going Madrid and Dusan Vlahovic. Look at them both now. I did see reports a few days ago that Juventus want to get rid of Dusan Vlahovic, which I don't even know where he would go. I also know that Douglas Luiz and his girlfriend both want out of Juventus, which will be interesting to see where that couple goes. That was the first couple transfer to Juventus, and it doesn't seem to have been worked out for Alicia Lehman or Douglas Luiz. Big up Flicks. Hope you're well. Hopefully my audio's all right now. Thanks, Moss, for the heads up. Um, I prefer to go live from my laptop, but I was on the road and I thought I'd do this stream quick. I will be going live tomorrow for another stream update if I hear anything new. My plan initially was to go live tomorrow anyway, so we'll catch up tomorrow with another Arsenal transfer news video. Hi, Malia. Thanks for joining. I'm just about to close out the stream. Ashley says, how close do you think Gyökeres is to Arsenal? I think by Thursday we'll hear the fee has been agreed, and we should get it. Here we go, Thursday if he's joining Arsenal Friday. I do think he'll fly out to the Emirates only on Thursday. So stay tuned on Twitter for that. If you do want to follow my socials, all my socials are Miss Melina. You can check out all my socials there and interact with me on there. I do join Twitter spaces regularly. I don't host them, but I do speak in them. So if you do want to hear my thoughts on the Arsenal, do join us over there. Thanks everyone who joined the stream today and yesterday. Appreciate everyone who's joined on Twitter, watching from Twitter via YouTube. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. We'll be live tomorrow again for another Arsenal news update. And have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. Today is Chelsea Fluminense Club World Cup semifinals. May the best team win. And Moss will be covering the game tomorrow with PSG Real Madrid. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you all in the next one. Adios.